It's been nearly 3 years since the last Digimon game released, and then Bandai randomly decided to drop the trailer for the next Digimon Story game, Digimon Story Time Stranger. I'll be going over everything I noticed in this trailer and won't be going into spoilers today. Without further ado, let's get this breakdown underway. The start of the trailer has what appears to be a beam of light that gradually turns into a massive explosion in a ruined city. It then transitions to a railway in what could either be the digital world or the digital world Iliad. And coming on screen is a Digimon familiar to watchers of the Season 3 epilogue Runaway Locomon. It's Locomon! The next shot gives us a look at a massive armillary sphere. If you're wondering what that is, it's what Greco-Roman astrologers use to depict the movements of planets and stars. After that, we see a forest, probably in the digital world. Hopefully we'll be able to explore it, as we didn't get to explore the digital world in the Cyber Sleuth games. We then get some shots of the cityscapes in Japan, which will likely be the main areas of the overworld. It then swaps over to a cutscene with our main character and a Japanese schoolgirl in front of a ruined building. We transition to a subway where a Metal Greymon busts out of a wall, fitting as Metal Greymon is the OG mascot for Digimon games. We'll get back to who these hands belong to later. In this shot, a red sphere of energy turns to a pillar of light, and if you look closely, you can actually see two people standing in front of it. Moving up, a shadow creature appears on the helipad of a building. This next scene goes by super fast, but we can make out three things. Number 1, there's our Japanese schoolgirl. Number 2, this appears to be the same building rooftop that the shadow monster was on. And number 3, there's a giant Digimon trying to stand up in the background. We then get to see Agiomon hatching from a Digi-Egg. This cutscene is reminiscent of the digital portal opening in Cyber Sleuth. This digital portal opens in front of these two buildings with Kuwagamon and its evolved form Okumamon falling out of them. We then get to see who owns those hands from earlier, the mighty Titamon. We get a quick transition shot of the male version of the main character running through the street, and then see that our tamer will have what looks like a gun, and both the male and female versions will have the same cutscenes. We get to see something people who've watched Digimon since Adventure have been wanting to do, riding on Garurumon's back just like Matt did in the show. And this appears to be the above water level to the next scene. We are now underwater with many familiar faces. There's Vikemon in the back, Coelomon swimming around, Seadramon just vibing, and we see two Digimon from Adventure that didn't appear in Cyber Sleuth, both Scorpiomon and Divermon. I'm also not certain how many people noticed, but our main character is riding on a tiny Waymon in this scene. Gives me some miniature Vaylord vibes. From the water we go to space with a Blimpmon on fire. Another quick transition, we have our main character fleeing from Digimon about to fire a laser on the back of a Birdramon. We finally get to see some combat with Agumon fighting a Goblimon. In the background we can see both Waspmon and Fanbeemon. We then get another transition where both Agumon and Agiomon are fighting a Goblimon. I don't quite know how to describe this area other than it looks like a graffitied construction yard below an interstate highway. We then get a great animation transitioning from Agumon to Greymon to Metal Greymon and finally War Greymon, all using their signature attacks. Of course, what Digimon game doesn't have Omegamon? On the end screen we see both the male and female versions of the main character in front of what is presumably a digital portal. And we also get to see what are most likely going to be our three starting Digimon, Gomamon, Patamon, and Demidevimon. Lastly, I'll bring up the words on our main character's legs. They have the symbol from the O in Story, and then the word Adamas. Adamas comes from this Greek word, which means untamable when translated. A little Easter egg, as we ourselves are going to be Digimon tamers. With that, if I missed anything, please leave a comment down below. I'll be having a speculation video with more details in this video coming out later. That one will contain possible story spoilers, so I'm warning you right now. It's been a long time since the last time I got to play a good Digimon game. I've got high hopes for this one.